Hello and welcome to 3 News Connect. I hope your week is off to a terrific start with Monica Robbins. I'm Jay Crawford. Monica, a very good Monday afternoon to you. I hope you had a great weekend.
Oh, it could have been a lot warmer, Jay, but, we are both coming to you live from our homes on another chilly day. And the information, though, about COVID-19 constantly changing, and that's why we're here. Let me bring you the latest developments. Today, Governor DeWine is expected to make an announcement about when daycares and childcare facilities can reopen. In Wuhan, China, the city where the virus first emerged, it now has reported its first new case of COVID-19 since April 3rd, when the city was declared virus-free. And the White House will be directing the supply of the COVID-19 drug remdesivir. That's the drug the FDA cleared for emergency use for some coronavirus patients. This is to help head off another chaotic scramble for supplies. Jay?
Monica, as more businesses plan to reopen this week, here are some key dates that you'll want to keep in mind. Retailers will be able to open their doors to shoppers tomorrow. And then on Friday, hair and nail salons will be able to take customers, and restaurants can seat customers for outside dining only. And then finally, next Thursday, May 21st, restaurants will be allowed to reopen for inside dining. So for the next few days, salons and barbershops are getting their businesses ready to reopen on Friday. After being closed for almost 2 months now, our Rachel Polanski shows us what some of them are doing to make sure you feel safe enough to go back.
Next time you pull up to your salon or your barbershop, things will look a little bit different. First of all, you won't just walk inside. You'll have to call first, and then you'll wait for your appointment inside your car or outside. That's because only one customer will be allowed in for every one stylist. Of course, if you have a child with you, they can come in too. After 2 months of being closed, Francesca de Blasi is excited to turn the lights on at Chessie's Salon in Chagrin Falls. No, she's not open yet. She's just preparing the salon to meet the state's new guidelines.
Hand sanitizer.
She has plenty of hand sanitizer, wipes, and masks, and she'll make sure her staff is cleaning salon chairs before and after every appointment.
Of course, after they're gone, we'll wipe the chair, we'll wipe whatever they touch, and we have a hand sanitizer, so on the way out, they can sanitize their hands.
Social distancing rules will still apply at all salons and barbershops, with the exception that the customer and their stylist can be less than 6 feet from each other.
We have masks. Client doesn't have one. We do.
And while employees will be required to wear masks, customers will be encouraged to wear them.
It was like watching the NFL draft, and I just got picked first round.
That's Waverly Willis, the owner of Urban Cuts in Cleveland, telling us how excited he felt when the governor said he could open up his barbershop this coming Friday.
This is just a blessing. I mean, outside of the money, we miss our people, and it's going to be a new normal inside the shop.
Both Chessie's and Urban Cuts owners plan to do in-person walkthroughs with their staff this week. As far as capacity, the state is not giving them a specific number they can or cannot reach, telling owners it's up to them to establish a max capacity based on their physical space. De Blasi says that won't be a problem. She's just ready to get back to work.
It's like a family. And the clients, you know them for such a long time. They're like part of your life.
Some other salon staples you won't see the next time you're here, magazines and candy bowls, because as you might imagine, they both can spread germs. For a list of all the do's and don'ts from the state, head on over to WKYC.com. Rachel Polanski, 3 News.
Ohio bars and restaurants are allowed to open patios for outside dining starting Friday, dining customers on May 21st. But social distancing requirements are making this challenging for businesses that don't have the space to spread people out. Mark Namick shows us what some local restaurants are doing to keep customers safe.
Twisted Citrus, a brunch and breakfast cafe, has borrowed from the bathroom to keep its kitchen going by putting up shower curtains between tables to limit contact between patrons. This is just one of many efforts restaurants are making to stay creative and stay open.
We looked at plexiglass. It's not only expensive and heavy, but at this point it's very difficult to find. And so this was the solution that we came up with that wouldn't necessarily be a permanent structure for us that we thought might work.
When spreading out is not an option, Twisted Citrus hopes plastic barriers will keep customers from walking away.
We have tables in the restaurant that don't have the barriers because we can safely distance people. And then we have some that, have a barrier between them. We will always give the guests an option.
The restaurant, like others, also hopes to utilize its bar and counter space, perhaps with barriers between stools. Oak and Embers, a smokehouse barbecue with 3 locations in the area, is also trying to reconfigure its spaces.
We've already kind of remapped out the dining room as far as what tables we can remove, which tables we can sit, kind of how we can move things around.
Many restaurants planning to replace plastic menus that get shared by customers with single-use paper menus. Hand cleaning stations likely to become part of the decor at some places, though supplies still tough to find.
Gloves are going to start to be a problem. Hand sanitizer, obviously, is harder to get.
Business owners say that the state's health directives leave room for them to be creative, but ultimately, customers will dictate the future.
This is a fluid situation. Our customers are going to tell us pretty quick what they're comfortable with and what they're not.
Mark Namick, 3 News.
And starting this week, Ohio will begin testing for coronavirus antibodies. It's a blood test to see if a person has had the virus. The antibody testing will help doctors better understand how the virus spreads and if people become immune to it after having the virus once. State health officials will pick more than 1,000 random volunteers, and residents will receive cards in the mail. Meanwhile, experts say a study done on Major League Baseball employees had some unexpected results. According to a report, only 60 of the more than 5,000 MLB employees tested were positive for COVID-19 antibodies. One of the doctors who conducted the study said he was expecting a much higher number. And of those who had the antibodies, 70% were asymptomatic. Jay?
Monica, Ohio's Catholic churches are preparing for a return of in-person Mass, which won't actually happen until late May. The Catholic Conference of Ohio announced each regional diocese will determine a soft opening date later this month. Each church will use new social distancing guidelines upon opening, including limiting Masses to half capacity. The suspension of in-person Masses ends on May 29th. And airlines may have a harder time with social distancing as air travel begins to pick up nationwide. A tweet from a cardiologist is raising concerns. Take a look at this picture. It actually shows a flight on his way from New York back to San Francisco. It's almost packed. This afternoon, United Airlines sent a statement to passengers saying the middle seats would be kept empty. United says they've overhauled their cleaning and safety procedures. And Delta Airlines is suspending its service to AKRON-CANTON Airport. It's one of 10 U.S. airports being impacted. This starts beginning Wednesday as the coronavirus continues to take a toll on the airline industry. Delta says the suspensions will continue through at least September.
Well, we continue to be amazed with how students are coming together while all their usual events were canceled, and Brooklyn High School's concert band wasn't going to let the virus stop them from sharing their music. You may have seen this before. Each student recorded their part and sent it in. Then all the parts were assembled and mixed together. There's more than 50 students involved in that. And we want to give a senior shout out today to Darius Randleman. He attends Elyria Catholic High School, where he served as captain of the football team. He was on the homecoming court and was recipient of all conference football honors. Darius is going to be a Falcon. He's heading to Bowling Green. Recognize your grad at WKYC.com/senior shoutouts.
No matter the weather, wind, rain, or storms, Mother Nature
Want to get your stimulus money through direct deposit? The IRS says Wednesday is the last day you'll be able to sign up. So you need to visit the Get My Payment tool on irs.gov by noon on Wednesday to check your status, your payment status, and provide your direct deposit information. And the federal government will be buying $3 billion worth of dairy, meat, and produce from farmers. President Trump tweeted this announcement over the weekend. Starting early this week, the U.S. will buy from farmers, ranchers, and specialty crop growers. He said his order is for helping with food lines and kitchens and the Department of Agriculture's Farmers to Families Food Box program. Jay?
Monica, in New York, more children have now died from a mysterious illness believed to be related to COVID-19. Here at home, breaking today, 3 News has confirmed that University Hospitals has also seen cases of this mysterious illness. Doctors and researchers are on an urgent search for answers. NBC's Kristen Dahlgren has what you need to know.
This morning, a search for answers, as 38 kids in New York City are now confirmed to have the mysterious illness called pediatric multisystem inflammatory syndrome.
This is every parent's nightmare. No one knew about it. Nobody was watching for it.
Statewide, there are now at least 85 cases. On Sunday, New York's governor announcing the state is investigating 2 more deaths after 3 children were already confirmed to have died from the rare sickness believed to be related to COVID-19. The syndrome causes life-threatening inflammation in the body and organs, with potentially serious effects on the heart. NBC News finding cases of the illness in 9 states and Washington, D.C.
The fact that it is affecting children is upsetting.
13-year-old Anthony Lawson is now in the ICU at Seattle Children's Hospital. About a week ago, he started showing signs of what his mom, Teresa, thought were allergies, itchy eyes, fever, and a headache. But within a few days, those symptoms took a dangerous turn.
Once we got to Children's Hospital, we met him in the cardiac ICU, where we were told that it appeared that he was in the middle of heart failure. They ended up taking a blood test and were able to discover that blood test came back positive for the COVID-19 antibodies.
Doctors now alerting the public to a range of symptoms, including fever, rashes, abdominal and chest pain, change in skin color, and rapid heart rate, with symptoms often mirroring more commonly known inflammatory illnesses like Kawasaki disease and toxic shock syndrome. The CDC and New York State are now working on developing criteria that can be used nationwide for the disease. The bottom line is this is rare. Most kids do recover, but it can develop up to 6 weeks after a coronavirus infection, even in children who didn't know they had COVID-19. And the docs I've been talking to say there is no way at this point for them to tell which kids might be at risk. Kristen Dahlgren, NBC News, New York.
Kristen, thank you very much. Rite Aid is expanding its criteria for COVID-19 testing, and this begins today. Here's the new criterion. The drugstore will now test adults that are asymptomatic. There are sites here in Northeast Ohio for testing. Now anyone over 18 can pre-register and schedule a time to get a test on the company's website. There will be no charge for the test, most of which will be operated by drive-thrus. So, how's that snow in May treating everybody? I woke up to a 3rd snowfall in the last week this morning. Can we finally say goodbye to it for the spring? Let's get a check on your forecast. Here's Holly Strano.
Thank you. And it's hard to believe that it is May the 11th as we go hour by hour here on your National Design Mart forecast. We're seeing more of just a rain shower chance this afternoon compared to the snow so many of you had again earlier today. Here's the deal. We're not making it out of the 40s. We continue to see some spotty showers even into early evening. But the good news is they will eventually fade. And by early tomorrow, we're seeing more of a partly cloudy sky, and it looks like we are going to see some Tuesday sunshine. Shower chances mainly inland tomorrow. Overall, it looks like it's going to be an improving day. And then we really clear things out as we head into the middle of the week. So much so that we'll be bragging about wall-to-wall sunshine by the time Wednesday rolls around. Now we've got to really work on these numbers because that is where the struggle lies. So interestingly enough, the record low for this date 33. Once we get those final numbers out, some of you could be talking some record low ties or new records from earlier this morning. 49, the normal low, and we're not even going to get there for highs today. We're forecasting a high of 46. 68 is where we should be for the high temperature on this very day. So we were 60 yesterday for Mother's Day. I hope you had a beautiful, beautiful day. Of course, we had the rain come in, and now we're dealing with those on and off showers this afternoon, and just kind of chilly. This is one of those comfort food days. You know what? Hopefully you got the crock pot going or something, delicious in the oven cooking for later on, keeping the house all nice and warm, a big pot of chicken soup, whatever it is. 46 for the high, and breezy too, so that also adds to the chill in the air today. Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast, as I mentioned, it'll be a mix of clouds and sun tomorrow and maybe a passing shower to the south, but overall we are going to see some sun and we'll be in the 50s, so that's going to help. Wednesday looks amazing, mostly sunny, and although that's still not as warm as we should be, that's going to be one pleasant day to get outside. We'll look forward to it. And then we really warm up Thursday, Friday into the weekend. We're talking highs well into the 70s. Thing is we'll have scattered showers and storms at times, but scattered, so you're still going to get out there and get some of that outdoor time in. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Monday.
Holly, thank you very much. We can use those warm temperatures. Still to come, coronavirus has us more diligent about cleaning our houses, maybe even wiping down groceries. But what about your car? How to make sure your vehicle is germ-free when 3 News Connect continues.
You've heard us talk about Leaf Guard.
Welcome back to 3 News Connect. As more and more of us are venturing out and driving more, demand for gas is rising. And that always means the price is going to go up too. After weeks of prices falling because of too much supply and too little demand, the cost of gas in the United States is up 5 cents on average, this according to AAA. And speaking of your car, as we begin to drive more, germs on the inside are on the rise. We've all learned the proper technique for washing our hands and which household cleaners can destroy the virus, but your car needs cleaned too. Here's NBC's Chris Clackham.
Even under the strictest of stay-at-home orders, we're still using our cars to run out and pick up necessities. Unfortunately, we might also be picking up and bringing home so much more. That's why when disinfecting, do it to your car too.
The common touch points like the steering wheel and the shifter, and the center console controls, and of course the seatbelt.
The wiper and turn signal stalks, door armrest, and grab handles all need a regular wipe down.
You're out and about, you're bringing a lot of the things you're touching back into the car with you.
But unlike the inside of your house, don't use bleach or hydrogen peroxide to kill COVID-19 inside your car.
You can do something very simple. You can use an alcohol solution, an isopropyl alcohol solution that's at least 70% alcohol.
Plain soap and water are just fine too. And even after disinfecting your ride, disinfect yourself.
Clean your car too, but make sure your hands are clean.
For a deeper clean, your local car wash is better equipped and would appreciate the business. Chris Clacken, NBC News.
Well, garage sale season is here, and while you may be anxious to get out and shop, the state of Ohio is sending out some guidelines to keep you safe. Okay, take a look. Here they are. You are, of course, supposed to practice social distancing by setting up signs to remind shoppers, along with placing tables and chairs 6 feet apart. You should also be cleaning those tables and chairs several times throughout the day, along with cleaning the merchandise. And guidelines say wear masks and disposable gloves as well. You should also have hand sanitizer around for those people shopping. Still to come, the Cleveland Marathon, just one of the many events canceled due to COVID. How 3 generations of one family still found a way to run together while living states apart.
Over 2,000 ladder-related accidents happen each day nationwide. You don't
This coronavirus headlines making news at this hour. The White House recommends testing of more than 1 million nursing home residents and staff. They plan to do this in the next 2 weeks. And leading infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci will testify before a Senate committee tomorrow. He'll do so via video conference. He'll be talking about reopening the economy. And today, Disney's park in Shanghai will reopen. They will, however, be under new guidelines. It's the first theme park to welcome back guests since the pandemic began. Here in the U.S., we've learned a section of Disney World in Florida is set to reopen next week. A limited number of stores and restaurants in their shopping district known as Disney Springs will reopen May 20th. There will be increased cleanings, of course, face masks for employees and guests, and additional safety training. The rest of Walt Disney World, including theme parks and hotels, will remain closed for now. Monica?
Well, the Cleveland Marathon brings people together from all over the world, and it was supposed to be this past weekend, but the coronavirus isn't stopping some from running. It's just changing how they do it. 3 generations who live in different states will come together to do the race virtually. Allison Sedlock, well, she lives in Columbus. She ran the kids race with her 5-year-old daughter, and her mom, Liz, also walked all the way in West Virginia.
Parents have always been supportive of me playing sports since I was very young. My mom has, given up a lot probably to sit through basketball games, lacrosse games, and all type of weather, and have been super supportive of me being active since day one.
So they're busy training because it's coming up, and Allison, of course, is an avid runner, and she was the one to convince her mom to walk the race, her first ever marathon. And I know this, Jay, has to be so difficult for so many people who have trained so hard to do this race, but it's great that they're figuring out a way to do it. And I cannot begin to tell you how many people I've seen getting out in the snow, in the rain, doesn't matter, and they're out there running anyway. So kudos to them. It's great to see.
Keep moving.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Of course, we will be here at noon again tomorrow for 3 News Connect. Jay, I'm sure we're going to see you later.
We will be along at 5 o'clock. Betsy Kling and the entire 3 News team will join me for What's New. I hope you do too. Thanks for watching today. We'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your day.